All right, we're sorry you're not at school. Go ahead and get out note 701. If you don't have a packet, you can do this on paper, or you can see if you can send someone to the school to get a packet. Hopefully you'll be back soon. All right, using relative frequencies. All right, so relative frequency is when a measure is a measure of probability. So when you conduct an experiment, the relative frequency of an example is the fraction or percent of the time that the event occurs. So relative frequency equals the number of times the event occurs over the total number of times you conduct the experiment. So you flip a bottle and you record the number of times it lands upright and the number of times it lands on its side. Describe the likelihood that the bottle lands upright on your next flip. So the bottle landed upright 2 times, and you did the experiment 25 total times. So to write that, you would say it landed 2 out of, and then the bottom is the total number of times you did the experiment, which is 25. 2 out of 25, which would be 8%. And so that is unlikely. It's not impossible, it's just unlikely. All right, this one. You attempt 3-point shots at a basketball court, and you record the number of times you made and missed shots. All right, so we've made 9 shots, we missed 6 shots. So when we look for the relative frequency of how many shots you made, that would be 9 out of a total. 9 plus 6 is 15. Now that would simplify. If you take out a 3, that would end up being 3 out of 5 shots, which is 60%. So is 60% closer to 50% or 75? Since it's closer to 50%, you would say, equally. And then on this one, you miss your next shot. So you miss 6 out of 15, which simplifies to 2 out of 5, which is 40%. And 40 is closer to 50 than 25, so that one would also be equally. All right. If we turn our page, it says a bag contains only red marbles and blue marbles. You randomly draw a marble from the bag and replace it. The table shows results of repeating this experiment. Find the likelihood of each event. So, what is the chance that the next one we choose is red? Red, there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. And blue, there's 21. So you made it 21 out of 42, which is 1 out of 2, which is 50%. So that one would be equally. Right, the next one you choose is red. What about the next one you choose is neither red nor blue? Since they were all red or blue, that would be 0 out of 42. And if you have 0, that is impossible. So impossible. All right. Each turn in the game, you randomly draw a token from a bag and replace it. So you put it back. The table shows the number of times you draw each type of token. How many times can you expect to draw a positive point value in 35 turns? So they got 3 points 10 times. This one, 5, 6, 7, and 3. So that experiment right there, that's how many they made out of only 20 attempts. Okay, so that's going to help us a little later. So let's look at this. How many times do you expect to draw a positive point value? So the positives are the 3s and the 1s plus. So that's 17 out of 20. So we want to know how many times would they make that out of 35. So you can set up a proportion. So when we do our cross products, 35 times 17, and you divide that by 20, we end up with 29.75. So I would say it is about 30 times. So out of 35 times, you'd expect to get it about 30 times. Okay, so that one, since it didn't total 35, you had to set up a proportion. All right, let's turn the page. Table shows the number of days you have a pop quiz and the number of days you do not have a pop quiz. In 3 weeks of school, how many days can you expect to have a pop quiz during a 180-day school year? So, want to know how many times to have a pop quiz. Well, how many times did you? 2 out of 15. So you want to know how many days would you have pop quiz out of 180 school days? So where would you put that 180 for total? Okay, it does go on the bottom. And now we do our cross products. 2 times 180. And then you divide that by 15. You get 24. So you would expect to have a pop quiz about 24 days a year. All right, last page. In a football game, the teams pass the ball 40% of the plays. Of the passes thrown, greater than 75% are completed. You watch the film of a randomly chosen play. Describe the likelihood that the play results in a complete pass. So, it says the teams pass the ball 40% of the time of those plays, and the passes thrown greater than 75% are completed. So if we look at this, we want to know how many of those, the chance that the play is going to be a completed pass. You basically have to do what is 75% of 40%. So if we take that in calculator, you go of members multiplication So 75% of 40%. So 0.75 times 0.40. When we multiply that out, we get 0.3. So change that to a percent, 30% of the times. So 30%, is that closer to 50 or 25? It's closer to 25, so that would be unlikely. All right, so use these notes to help you on the homework. Hope to see you at school soon.